Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jeremy here. I'm with my co-host,
Anthony Jones.
and this is the third episode of the Acquisition Podcast. And I'm going to just give you guys a heads up. Anthony and I are not feeling 100% right now.
Understatement. We're pretty beat, guys.
Yeah.
Been having a long, crazy weekend.
You guys can hear in my voice. It's pretty raspy. My girlfriend competed in a bikini bodybuilding competition, and I was cheering her on. And after that, we partied a lot, and I'm kind of feeling sick, a little under the weather.
I see on your Instagram all of the food you guys ate. That was pretty crazy, man.
We went ham. And then Anthony, what'd you do over the weekend?
I mean, obviously, everyone knows I've been just, having fun, networking,
partying
on the yacht.
On the yacht, yeah. Partying and networking.
Partying and networking a little bit. Long weekend.
But it's Tuesday. We're here, and we're showing up despite all of that. And that's kind of like we're turning this into a theme for this episode is, having grit. We kind of like talked about it a little in the previous episodes, but we want to like go, dive deeper into that about grit, showing up when you don't want to.
I like today.
Yeah, battling laziness. Every entrepreneur goes through that. But before we do that, we want to spice it up a bit, talk about some current events that happened over the last week. And by current events, I want to talk about how they recently found some alien bodies in Mexico. And I have a little article right here that says they're claiming it as the queen of all evidence, and that this possibly might have DNA to show that these alien bodies are non-human beings.
So weird.
What do you think about that?
Well,
dude?
what's kind of funny is that I actually love watching UFO stuff and everything. Everyone like knows me and knows I love aliens and shit, right?
Same.
So what's also funny is that didn't they find one with like freaking eggs in it, and then something like that was kind of gross actually. And then they found one with a little hole in the bottom of it.
Oh man!
I won't use the other word, but maybe they got probed or something like that. So it's kind of weird, man. Yeah. I mean,
do you think it's aliens?
I don't know,
man. Think it's a hoax?
Who knows? I'm not gonna. They look too small. Like if you look at them in comparison to like the actual people around them, they look way too small. Mm-hmm. And when you start hearing everybody like giving accounts on like UFOs and when they seen them, they don't ever say that like they're this big, and those things look like this big. It's kind of freaky.
I don't know, man. There've been a lot of like aliens and UFOs news coming out lately. I personally think that they wouldn't be, because they're supposed to be a next level like super smart, intelligent society. Like, I don't think they would be dumb enough to get caught like that,
Yeah, it could be a distraction, like everyone else.
Yeah, what are they distracting?
What are they distracting from?
Dude, like the government's known for that.
Yeah, like the Zimbabwe incident is actually
what is the Zimbabwe?
Zimbabwe incident is where all this like UFO like went over. All these kids are at recess, man, and they're all just and it like lands like next, and all the kids run over there, and they get all the accounts from these kids about what happened. And you can't get that many kids to lie about anything. Right. And you can just see, when a kid's lying, and they're all just like,
kids tell the truth.
They tell the truth, bro, for sure. And I believe that a lot more. But I mean, maybe these things are real. I don't know.
Well, side question, and we'll get into the real podcast. But do you think we really landed on the moon?
Yeah, dude. Come on, bro. I mean,
there's all these conspiracy theories saying we didn't, we did. I think we did land on the moon. But I think that we found something that we weren't supposed to find. So the government made up this fake, conspiracy theory to distract us from the real question. It isn't, did we land or did we not land? It was, what did we find? When did we land?
Oh, man. Come on. I love it.
Anyway, we'll get to the real podcast now. Back to grit, showing up when you don't want to. Battling laziness. Jesus, my voice is like.
Also, we're gonna throw in there talking about like some fakes, right? Ooh. So that's another thing too. We'll touch more on that later when I talk about fakes.
Yeah, I mean, fakes, faking it to make it. Who's real? Who's the real deal? Who's legit?
There's a lot of fake people on this island, people.
But anyway, grit. What Anthony? What is your definition of grit? Just straight from the top of your head.
Well, I love how Jeremy likes to throw me on the spot right away. And you know what? And you want to know something else is funny is Jeremy has everything we're talking about over there. I'm winging it, ladies and gentlemen. I am completely winging it. Okay. When he said that we're not 100%, like, and I said understatement, telling you, I'm still here. I'm showing up, and I'm going to talk.
Well, we were supposed to meet yesterday to go over it. Someone didn't call me back.
I had a lunch, and the lunch with the beer, and it turned into like hanging out at the, at Duke's, all, for hours.
Distraction.
But yeah. So, okay. So Jeremy put me on the spot. All right.
Definition of grit.
He's asking me what my definition of grit is. And the only thing I can, like commenting on that, I'm going to look within. And for me, like what I went through to get to where I'm at and be able to do what I've done, I've just, I lived it. I lived through hard times. I know what I appreciate when people do favors for me or anything, right? And I've lived through not having, living without, right? And there's a lot of people that didn't go through that. And so what I would challenge those people to do is to try to put yourself in a position or a situation to where maybe, you have things easy and just, do it without. If your family's giving you things and, or stuff like that, just give it up and go through some, some self-cleansing, figure it out. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go through a hard challenge or something hard, but I had to live through it.
So I think you're explaining how one gets grit, but I want you to explain what is grit, the definition.
Definition of grit?
I'll go.
Okay. See? Look, by the way, you probably looked it up already. He's going to give a textbook answer. Go ahead, homie. Go ahead.
So me and Anthony, we're, side note, we did our first 2 episodes and we critique each other like, hey, we're doing this, we're doing that. Like, we're still learning how to do podcasts and, we have our things to work on. So a lot of things. Okay. Definition of grit, in my mind, straight from the dome. Grit is pursuing and chasing a goal despite feeling like you don't want to, or despite having a circumstances that prevent you from chasing after that goal.
Sounds pretty dictionary to me.
Let's look it up.
It's to say verbatim. No, I'm just kidding.
Grit. Okay, let's see. Grit, according to Google, is courage and resolve, strength of character.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice. I love it. Yeah, strength of character. But okay, so how do you get that?
Yeah.
Right? How do you
get what you were saying earlier.
Yeah, I mean, so, yeah, exactly. Like, I lived through it to get grit, right? I mean, I had to live through it. And I'm not saying for everyone to go through, like, tough times and go fucking, like, not eat and, like, be like, oh, my gosh, I got to give up all your money and stuff. No, don't do that. But just go through some challenges and come up on top. It'll make you a better person. I've used these examples before. Put yourself, especially, what I asked somebody, it was very interesting, but I asked somebody last night actually about how because I keep a lot of stuff to myself and I only know one way, and that's like to figure, I'll be an entrepreneur, right? So I don't know what it's like to not take things home with you. And so I asked another person that works for someone else, it's like, when you go home and you don't have to take work with you, like, how do you feel? Like, are you okay? Like, is just life just amazing? Right. Because, people on the outside looking at me, oh, life is amazing, but man, I'd lived through all kinds of stress and all that, right? So I was actually very curious, and I wanted to get that perspective from that person, right?
Because when you say like not take it home, if you're not a business owner, once you clock out, you don't have any responsibilities. But when you're a business owner, I feel like you said, you go home, you're still thinking about that. When you wake up, first thing you look at your phone is like, okay, is anything on fire? Is that what you mean?
Well, yeah, but then also what I'm saying is that for those people that do work for other people and don't have to take it home with them, and life is okay, you can that's your chance to develop some sort of grit, put yourself in a different situation, maybe start a side business or something like that.
Side hustle.
Do a side hustle, put yourself in some predicaments, and go from there. I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to be an entrepreneur just yet, but you can start your little side hustle or whatnot. But anyway, it's actually very interesting though. Like, like hearing someone else tell you about, their perspective on life and how working for someone like it's been so long, dude. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the Marine Corps was pretty much all I really knew. And before that, I was also a janitor at Current Medical Center when I was 18, which was awesome before because I was on probation, so I couldn't join the Marine Corps just yet. Dude, I'm telling you, I got kicked out of my middle school, my high school, Got kicked out of my continuation school, a CLC Tech in Bakersfield. I had to go live in Lemoore with my family. I was in all kinds of crazy shit. By the way, like me and my boy, we freaking bought a 38 special from some hood dude. And
what's a 38 special?
A freaking gun, dude. I had a gun in my car, bro. I'm telling you, like, I came from Bakersfield, east side of Bakersfield, and I grew up in the south side of, out there, and I went to South High, barbed wire around my freaking high school. So it's just like, but then when you come to these crazy challenges in life, like everyone asks me, like, guys, a lot of you guys don't know, but I got shot twice out here in Hawaii, and everybody was all freaking out and whatever. I was back to work like 2 days later, and I'm like hobbling around. I got shot in my legs. I got a bullet lodged in my left knee. But you want to know something? Did I let that I forgot about it like the week next, and everybody's still freaking out and everything, But you know what? I've been through so much worse things in life that when challenges like that come and they happen, it's nothing to me. Yeah. So when I go to like all my businesses and I'm going to war, as I've said before, nothing. It's all nothing. It really is. Because at the end of the day, what can they do? What are they going to do to me? They got to kill me?
That's what business is. It's war. It's going to war every single day, day after day, 24 hours. Like you go home, you're still working on your business. You wake up, you're working on your business. That's crazy. And I think you need to have grit in order to be a successful entrepreneur. But going off of that,
be a little gangster.
Yeah.
Just a little gangster. Not too much. Just be a little gangster, but be a little gangster.
Yeah. So with grit, there's grit and drive. What would you say drives you?
What drives me?
Yeah.
Family, peace, happiness, the pursuit of happiness, right? That's what drives me. Just being as far away from, again, when I was young, like I know what it's like to be hungry and not have food or whatever, like that's why I'm always, my family used to always make fun of me because I'm like, they used to say, can I have seconds? Because I'd always ask, can I have more? Can I have more? Because there was some times where like I would see and we're just eating just a little bit of food and it's like not all there, there's not that much, right? So being far away from that situation as much as possible is what drives me. Also to better all my family and close friends and make sure that they're not in that situation is also what drives me. So that's kind of like the why, right? And
because like you never, like I find this with myself and a lot of other entrepreneurs is like they usually go through, again, like trauma or something bad in their childhood or a circumstance where they're like, F this, I don't ever want to feel like this ever again. I see my family struggling. My parents went bankrupt twice, and my dad's like 60, he's turning 60 soon, and like he's still working, and I'm just like, oh, like my parents did so much, sacrificed so much. They immigrated from Philippines that they risked it all to make sure we're okay. And that's why, what that drives me too is family. I want to go hard and, have grit because I want to put them, I want them to retire. I don't want them to work anymore. They deserve to like relax and all that,
Well, grit is what gets you through the hard times. Yeah. Okay. So, when you come across, again, these barriers in life, you just push through them and you keep fighting, right? So that's what grit does. It gives you the power within to go through those barriers, just bust through them. So, like simple things just don't faze you and you figure out how to get through it and to come up, turn a no into a yes. That like, it's funny, but that's one of the only situations I've seen, probably you and I in together is that one where the yacht was like on the back of and you were freaking out. And me, I'm the type of person, I'm like, we're going to get this done. Yeah. It's going to get done. By all means necessary, we're going to get this done. There is no. And at the end of the day, what happened? Got there, everything was fine, and got it done, right? So,
I just didn't want you to die, bro.
Yeah, I know, but you want to know something? Again, I've been through worse things, and like I was like, you know what, this is easy. This is a piece of cake. We're gonna get this done. I'm not gonna die. Relax, bro. We're fine.
I like how you said, whatever happens, like you get through it despite circumstances. Now, how about this take? You're your own person that's preventing you. Like, what I mean by that is you're feeling lazy. Yeah. We're human. Me and Anthony are like, we're normal people. We're feeling lazy today. How do you overcome not circumstances, but how do you overcome your self-laziness?
That's a damn good question, man. Because if you're your own worst enemy, and which sometimes, every day I am. When I wake up, a lot of times the first word out of my mouth is fuck. because I have to go to the gym. I don't want to do that. Like, if I could push a button and it just puts you in shape, I would do it.
Oh, yeah.
I hate going to the gym every morning. I hate running. I hate all that stuff. Right?
But you still do it.
You still have to do it.
Because our morning routine, literally, I wake up at 5, knowing that I'm gonna text Anthony, "Hey, dude, you up?" And I know he's not gonna text me back till 5:30. He's like, "Yo, 5 minutes." I'm like, "All right, I'll be there at 5:45." But we still work out.
Make it.
We still do it.
Make it. We
so
do.
How do you just do it?
Man, you just got to do it. Kind of like we're doing this podcast, man. Like I was so
Champ it out.
I was so hoping that Josh was like going to text me like, "Hey, bro, we can't make it" or something. I was like, yes, but no, he made it, and he's here, and now we're doing this. So kind of like that, like guys, this is my worst moment. Look, I got a freaking I'm telling you right now. I just didn't want to be like a little Andrew Tate wannabe or something, but I was gonna go like this, and I was gonna be like this in the. I'm not trying to be like, no, but I'm serious. This is how I feel right now. This is like me, right? But I'm not going to. I took them off because I didn't want to look the R word. Hey, I could be a little politically correct, right? Yeah, don't want to look ridiculous. The other R word. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, yeah, just going through and doing it, right? Yeah. So we're doing it. And by the way, I'm about to kick Jeremy's ass at chess. By the way,
ADHD. Okay? I can't focus on so many things,
and I can. That's we balance each other. I can do a few other things as we're going. So go ahead, roll into the next thing. Man.
I just lost my train of thought because of that.
Because he knows he's gonna get his ass kicked.
We talk about like doing things regardless. Like, I mean, waking up at 5 a.m. That's hard. For me, I think I find the way I get through things, I just find these small little biohacks or whatever to like get me through it. Like when I wake up, the first thing I do is look at my phone. I know I hear people like saying that's not good, but literally it helps me get up. Like I turn on my phone and the brightness just wakes me up. Like, whoa, dude. And then I just look at my phone, look at my emails. Like, is there any fires I have to put out with my clients or my deals? And then that gets me up. And then I go brush my teeth, the toothpaste usually just like, oh, okay, I'm up, and then it's just, I feel like you're doing these little things to get you through things. Like it's brick by brick, you kind of crawl your way through. It doesn't sound like that bad, but literally waking up, that's like the hardest part.
Yeah. The hardest part for sure.
And when you have grit and I'm just taking this into like business now, not just like waking up, you kind of have to crawl your way through it, inch by inch, brick by brick. What would you say with that?
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I think that's the case. Let's pivot a little bit. All right, let's pivot. Let's pivot to our little sauna talk the other day.
Oh yeah.
All right, so real quick, because grit and all that is great, but you gotta know your faults. Mm-hmm. You gotta know your faults, right? As well to get to the next level. All right, so this guy pointed out a good fault of mine, and he actually got really upset. I seen he like threw his hands up and everything. He was legitimately upset.
Over-exaggerating.
No, he was upset, and he like bursted out and like a little tantrum. I was like, "Come on, Jeremy, why are you throwing a tantrum right now, homie? Like, relax." Okay, and go ahead and tell him what your tantrum was about.
We call this the sauna talk. So after our workout, we go to the sauna. We kind of like it's just me and him. We're like talking about like our day. We have to do. So this is where I'm like, all right, bro, you got to post this on Instagram, and then posted it, or Rand posted it. And he was like, I don't like that. I'm going to delete it. I'm like, bro, come on. Like, we're supposed to be pumping out media. And then like, that's when I was like, dude, every time we post something, it takes you an hour to like review it and then be okay with it. Again, I get it. Anthony's new to social media. And I'm just like, dude, who cares? And then I guess I got a little upset.
Just a little.
I didn't throw a tantrum. And then Anthony's like, hey, man, you have your shit that's like annoying too. And I'm like, what? Tell me. And he's like, no. I'm like, no. Like, I didn't take it personal. I literally said, hey, no, tell me so I can be better. And I think like some people can't take it. Some people can. I'm a guy that always seeks feedback. So I'm like, tell me.
I like peace.
What did you say?
And I love peace, so I'm like, okay.
I want to be better. So what did
I
you
was
say?
like, all right, bro. So you're asking for it?
Yeah.
All right, here it is. I was like, motherfucker, you ever notice that when you start eating, I run across to the other side of the room? Do you ever notice that? Why do you think that is, bro? It's like you smack so loud. I like bad. I can't. I have to run to the other side of the room every time. So it's like, oh man. And then when we're out with clients, and he's just like, and I'm just like, gosh, damn it. Damn it! I can't take Jeremy anywhere. So that was, and we're having this little talk in the sauna.
Yeah. And then we're like, okay, sauna talks.
Yeah, so we have our little sauna talks now. Yeah. So, but anyway, and he's like, "Thank you, bro. I'm actually going to work on that."
Yeah. See, I think most people like they can't take feedback, or when they take feedback, they get butthurt. And I think you want to be a good person, good entrepreneur. You gotta take feedback. You gotta say, okay, what did I do wrong? And if you seek feedback and you get butthurt, I think that's bad, because then the person giving you feedback is like, ooh, I was honest with them and they got mad. I can't be honest with them, Yeah. But I think another reason why we're good business partners is that we can provide each other feedback. We can take the feedback and then we could fix it and apply it from there.
For sure.
And going off of that, I want to branch off to some people are afraid of feedback and some people are afraid of failure. Yeah. What do you think about that? I think that stops a lot of people from.
Yeah, I mean, not everything you do is going to be a success right off the bat, or a success at all. You know, that's when you pivot and you do something else, and you just keep going. And success isn't like a straight line going up. Sometimes it's a little zigzaggy, and you got to figure it out. And that's where you actually become better. You just become better, and then that line will start to go where you want it to go, right? Mm-hmm. Because you've hit the bottom, you hit the left, you hit the right. It's like driving or learning anything. You're not gonna be a badass right off the bat. It's just how it is. So, that's just.
Were you ever scared to fail?
Being scared to fail, man. Was I ever scared to fail? Like I said, no, because at a certain point. Because all the stuff I've been through, and then there was a pretty big incident that I've never even talked to. I'm not going to talk about. But when I was 17, some crazy shit happened, and I've been to the point where it's my life is over, and so after that, everything else was it's really been nothing. Yeah. It seriously has been nothing. So the worst that's going to happen is you're going to die, and we all are going to die one day. So. What are you scared of? Just try it. Who cares? You'll be fine. And you're going to come out better for it, or you're going to learn something, and you can just pivot later and do something else. You're going to be fine.
Because I think that's what stops a lot of people from doing things is they're afraid to fail, or even if you want to go deeper, maybe they're not afraid to fail, but they're afraid or they're afraid of what other people are going to think when they fail publicly, Right. And I've heard this on some other podcast I forgot, but I think it's a lot of people. They care what other people think. I'll admit I care what other people think to a certain extent, but I don't let that stop me from doing things. And I've failed so many times in my life, but I just keep going. You got to have grit. Again, despite your circumstances, despite failing, are you going to try again? And some people just, some people can do it and some people can fake it. And speaking of faking it, let's talk about
man, this is what I told you. I really wanted to talk about fakes, right? So as you start getting up the ranks, and you start meeting more people, and you start networking more and more, you start to hear all these crazy stories and all these type of people that claim this and that and left and right, and they're just this. And then you start to even question yourself. Man, I suck. Jeez Christ. Yeah, I'm in the top 1% of the U.S., but I feel like a speck on the floor talking to these people. But one thing you start to realize is these guys are professional networkers and professional talkers. You got to watch out for there's leeches out there. Yeah. There are people that will make you think that they're bigger and better than anyone you've ever met, but they are not. They really aren't. And you know what? And I spot you guys. I know who you guys are. And you guys want to come and act like that around, don't do that. Don't pretend to be something you're not. Just be you. Yeah. And I respect that much more than someone that tells me, I own this, I'm worth this much. Bro, shut up. Shut up. Seriously, shut up.
You don't need a lie.
Just be and if you are worth that much, be humble and just shut your mouth and just move it, keep it moving. Yeah. Seriously. Good. You're worth that much. Great.
I think they're taking the whole concept of fake it till you make it
To an extreme.
to the wrong way.
They're exaggerating beyond to where it's a lie.
Because
don't be that type
I believe
of person.
fake it till you make it to a certain extent. And what I mean by that is like early in my real estate career, I didn't know crap about being a realtor, but I knew it involved talking to random people, talking to cold calling, door knocking, like being personable, approaching people. And I did not have confidence. So I had to fake my confidence. I had to pretend I'm confident to be confident. And I think when you do fake it till you make it like that, I think that's fine. But when you start faking status, faking ownership, faking all kinds of stuff, faking income, I think that's pathetic.
It is extremely pathetic.
Yeah.
And just be you. That's it. Be you. If you haven't earned it, then just go out there and earn it. And then till you can, if you want to talk about it, but after you've earned it, go do it.
Yeah.
And if you are worth, like I said, if you are worth that, just be humble. And that's one thing. Literally, I learned from Steve at the bar. If you ever watch this, man, like he's like, Anthony, it sounds like you're doing amazing, And one thing, it seems like you are humble. And I'm not saying, I hope you maintain that. And and that really stuck with me. And if once I do keep on rising, I'm gonna stay humble. I'm gonna. I'm still like that guy. I'm always going to be that guy. Don't ever like be, become big-headed, right? Don't be a big head.
Yeah.
Just don't be a big head.
Going off of that, I don't even have it in my notes. We're going to like wing it right here. I think something as us guys, especially entrepreneurial guys, we have ego. And I feel like I've in the past and still do struggle with having and maintaining my ego and keeping it under control. Have you ever experienced that?
Oh, for sure,
right?
Dude. Yeah. I mean, come on. We all have egos.
Yeah.
I have ego.
Yeah.
Like, I've been thinking this whole time while I've been talking, I'm like, why hasn't Jeremy made his freaking move? Because I want to kick his ass, at chess. So trust me, I have an ego. I have an ego for days, guys. Like, don't get me wrong. And we all do. Any alpha male, really, like, seriously, they have an ego. And it's just how you, it's kind of like your character, though, how you respond. Yeah, you got to be a balance. You can't.
I think you need some ego, because if you have some ego, that is the little voice inside your head saying, no, you can freaking do this. If you're, screw that guy, you freaking show him up. And I think that's a little okay.
Any successful person is going to be very proud of what they've accomplished.
Proud,
right?
That's a good word.
Yeah, they're going to be very proud, and they're going to defend that, in what manner that they deem necessary. And sometimes some people can, come off as egotistical, or they're going to defend it another way. Maybe they might not come off as egotistical, and there's just different. It's character, right?
Yeah. It's just how you perceive it too. Like, I've been called egotistical in high school, college, and all that, but I've defended myself by saying, like, the reason why I am the way I am, I think highly of myself, is because I've never had people believe in me, so I've had to believe in myself. And sometimes I had to make that super extreme, because it's not me convincing them that I'm good. It's me convincing myself that I'm good. So it's kind of like I'm talking in the mirror. But I think what's extremely important in the grand scheme of things, I think it's self-awareness. Like, yeah, I walk like I'm good, but I'm fully aware that I'm not the best.
Right. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Oh, there's
spot on. That was a bomb right there. Boom.
Oh, drop that. Yeah, drop the mic. I love it. No, seriously though. Yeah, the whole ego thing, man. I mean, it would be nice if we all leave our egos at the door. Yeah. And try to do that. I try, but I mean, because you never want to be that guy, right? That's like, oh, I'm the G, I'm the best, I'm this, I'm that, But I don't know. Whoa. I better shut up. There's probably some.
Anyway.
We talk a little highly every once in a while. I need to.
I want your take on this. Now we're shifting gears. Is when it comes to business, in the pursuit of happiness, pursuit of goals, accolades, we don't quit as entrepreneurs. We don't quit, but there's this concept of pivoting, like what we said earlier. I'm sure in your business that you were trying something, some technique. Me as a realtor, I was doing cold calling, door knocking, but it wasn't working. So I pivoted and started doing other things. In my case, it was social media. So what is the difference between quitting and then pivoting? Have you done something like that in your business, that you were doing something and then you're like, this is not working, I'm going to stop this?
No. Sometimes you have to pivot, right? Okay, let's use the word pivot. If you find something else more successful, or what have you, find something more successful, you're going to move to that. It's just natural progression, right? It's you're not necessarily quitting, you're just evolving. You know, it's evolution. You're not, you don't quit because you haven't stopped. You're still pursuing like a business or you know, you're just coming at a different angle.
Yeah.
You're pivoting, right? Yeah. So, no, there's no, the difference between that and quitting is quitters
stop.
Yeah, they completely stop. Yeah, they just stop, or you know, or they'll try like 10 things and not finish anything. In my mind, that's also kind of like a quitter. You know, you're quitting one thing, you haven't finished, you try, and I know people like that.
Same.
And I feel bad for them. I really do. You know, because some of these people are very talented, but
they just can't focus.
Can't focus.
It's called shiny object syndrome.
Yeah,
SOS.
They're SOS.
They try something for 6 months. They're like, oh, I thought this was going to be easy. It's actually super freaking hard. I'm going to quit and try something else because that seems easy, you know?
Yeah.
I see that a lot too.
Nothing is easy. It really is. Anything that's worthwhile is not going to be easy. It's just not.
Yeah.
You know, if it was easy, then everybody would be doing it.
Yeah.
It's not easy. Nothing's easy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all that kind of.
So when we talk about like pivoting and stuff, I remember you talking about your business and how you've had to like pivot here and there. One topic I wanted to ask you about was like company culture and stuff. Like I know right now what's going on in the world is that there's a lot of shifting back into working remote into like working in office. What are your thoughts? What's your take on like remote work versus working inside?
So my take on that is, all right, for any U.S. remote workers, all right, so we're some of the highest paid people on the planet Earth, right? You know, the U.S. workers, right? So, but as an entrepreneur, if you're going to work remotely, do you not feel a little in danger with your job to say, I have a couple workers out in the Philippines. They work out in the Philippines, $10 an hour. Okay. Why would I pay someone else $30, $40 an hour here in the U.S. if I can go pay someone $10 an hour out there in the Philippines? And I get to, you know, I sift through these people, like all these people, and like I found like the best of the best over there for $10 an hour. And they're freaking killing it. They're doing a great job. And over here, I have to pay for everybody's benefits, this, that. You know, they're employees, right? Yeah. Why? So if you're a remote worker, you should be kind of like questioning, on your guards.
Yeah.
If, in fact, I would.
You're replaceable.
You are extremely replaceable for someone that is a lot cheaper than you are. It's probably better than you are. It sucks, but it's a numbers game. There's how many billions of people in this world, and I'm sure there's people that are better than you for a lot cheaper than you are. You should be worried. But anyway, let's just take out the rest of the world and just bring it down to the U.S. if you're a remote worker and you know they're bringing you in, and that, you know, that's just, like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that actually. It's
okay, if you were to start a new company, right, and you had the choice to have people work in or work remotely, what would you do?
Well, it depends on what type of company it is. What's the type of company?
That's true. I think for like, let's say sales, our favorite type of business.
Sales.
For me personally, I think if you have a sales team, and I'm building one right now with one of my friends to wholesale on Oahu, I think for the majority, it could be remote because you're just cold calling, all that. But I think maybe once a week, at least have a team meeting in person, because I believe like, you know, meeting in person builds camaraderie. It builds culture. I mean, you own the auto body shop, Autocraft Hawaii. You have to be shops with an S. Sorry, guys. We got 3 here, 1 in Kona, and then another soon to buy. Which
we can't. Don't even say the island.
Side note: we're raising money for you guys watching. We're gonna make this into an ad right here. Boom.
Oh no. We're gonna do some ads later.
Make some ads later.
You guys are gonna know our faces, unfortunately. You know, here soon. You guys get tired of our faces. We're gonna put some ads on the island anyway.
Yeah. But going off of that, speaking of, I said company culture. How do you build company culture?
Well, company culture starts from the top. So, you know, it can be simple as, all right, once a month, we get everyone together and we have a barbecue. You know, okay, that everyone starts to, once a month on Fridays, we want to be, you know, share the aloha spirit, we dress in aloha attire and chill out on Friday. You know, like Friday, you don't have to come in, you know, so that's just little things like that. Also, you know, when there's an employee that does really well, recognizing it from everyone. So you start to build all the, you know, positives in your company or whatever. I like that. So that's how you do it.
I'm guessing that's how you attract talent, huh?
no, that's not necessarily how you attract talent. That's how you keep talent.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? There's
yeah.
a difference. That's how you keep talent. It's not how you attract it. That's how you keep it there. You create a good culture.
Okay.
With all the positives.
So tell me how you attract good talent.
Well, how you attract good talent, there's a lot of different strategies for that as well. I mean, obviously, like we were talking earlier with, Josh had a good, like, people throw out bonuses and things like that, right? Because let's just face it, the best talent is probably getting paid the most out there. And if they're going to leave, it's going to be for a pretty penny or something, right? So bonuses is one way to attract, and also good benefits package. I mean, there could be, you also want to interview these people and find out their why, what kind of makes them tick. Because if you truly want to bring good talent, you need someone that can understand people and that understand what they want, what's important to them.
Okay.
Right. So if you can kind of offer something and tailor it to that specific person, then you're going to attract that person, obviously. And then you keep them with a good culture.
God. Let me ask you this. So you're looking at two different employees. One employee is not as skilled, but he seems hungry. He seems like he has grit, He seems like he's a fast learner. Or you have employee 2 where this guy's very knowledgeable and all that, but he seems kind of like, not as driven. Which employee sticks out to you more and why?
Well, for sure, the employee number 1.
Number 1,
yeah,
okay.
Number 1, yeah.
Because that person seems like coachable, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Coachable. There
you would rather have someone start them from the ground up with good habits than someone that's already knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Bro, I can't pay attention to this.
I know. But anyway, so yeah.
For those that are listening, we're playing chess right now.
Oh yeah. And Jeremy's about to get his butt.
Bro, I'm not.
I don't know how many times I can say ass, so I'm just gonna keep saying. I'm gonna start saying butt. Look, all that's great. Just got to have people in place that understand people, right? Managers, things of that nature, and also people that are on your team that are going to be doing all the interviewing. You can't be doing that yourself, but you got to instill from the top good culture. Okay, you got to instill that good culture within, and it also starts with rewarding your people, your main people, and also making sure they're the right person, because it's going to trickle down, and making sure that they understand the trickle down effect, right? Kind of like the military, like shit rolls downhill, like and kind of type deal, right? But not so structured like the military. But anyway, you want to put people in place that understand this kind of thing, right? So
okay.
It's pretty
Nice. No, it sounds like you're running. Obviously, you're running Autocrafts super well, but
a little too well to where, again, I'm freaking and this is me bragging about my people, not even necessarily bragging about me bragging about my people. They make it very easy for me. And hey, yo, Gerard and all you guys got to make it a little harder on me, because you need to drag me freaking back into work somehow, because I keep on partying a little too much and I'm networking a little too much. And I'm about to grow, but we're about to take off here soon.
Oh, yeah.
I've been for the last the last episode we talked about this. I was having a little bit too much fun, and it's still continuing, guys. I'm getting a little nervous. I think I'm having a midlife crisis, and I was talking to Josh about this. I'm not going to say the specifics of that midlife crisis, but I think I'm starting to get there, and I'm like, man, I just turned 35 years old. It's scary.
I think you look good for 35, brother.
I appreciate that, homie. I'll take it all day. But
I think you're not going through a midlife crisis. I think you're just entering a new era of your life. I mean, outside looking in, I see you as a guy that's been working his ass off your entire life. I was talking to one of my good friends about you, and I told him how fast you scaled. Like, you started Autocraft 2017, and you scaled it to what it is now in 5 years. So he said, dude, he's been sprinting his whole life. And I think now that you have this yacht and you have all this, toys, you kind of want to just chill for a little bit, right?
Yeah, bro.
I mean, sprinting your whole life, and now it's been like 2 months. 2 months you've had the yacht?
Yeah, about 2 months.
So, that's why, even though you're kind of distracted and I'm, trying to, get you to focus, I'm not mad at you. I'm just like, nah, dude, do your thing. Do your thing. Because I feel like you're not going to enjoy that forever.
Oh, no, there's no way.
Is it getting old?
Oh, you know what? Sometimes it is. It does.
Yeah.
And what was it, a couple weekends ago? I mean, dude, I flew out to Vegas, partying out over there. It was insane, by the way. They comped us a room at the Conrad up there, and with my boys, we're all hanging out, and they chauffeur us around in a damn Rolls Royce. It was insane. Like we had a fantastic time. Went to all the like clubs. We had bottle service and all that. Fantastic time. But then we roll from there. We roll out to Mexico. We have a great time out there, and then from there I come straight back, and I got sick. I was throwing up in the flight on the way back. It was horrible. And then the next day, and everybody's hitting me up. They're like, hey, don't forget, we have the yacht party on Saturday. I'm flying in on Friday night. Oh. I flew in Friday night, and we had a yacht party Saturday, and we had a yacht party on Sunday. And I was dying, guys, on that yacht party. I was like, this sucks. I don't want to do this anymore. Ooh, wow. And then the next Sunday, I went back again. I was like, I'm still hurting. But yeah, it gets old. It gets old. But you're on Hawaii. I mean, it's beautiful out here, guys. Yeah. It really is.
Can't deny that.
And jumping in the water, it just feels so good. So I mean, I've wanted to be close to the water and kind of enjoy the ocean, and so that's kind of why doing more of the day party type thing and hanging out, enjoying. And when I say day party, I'm not necessarily even drinking. Sometimes I don't drink on the yacht. Sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll just like kind of chill and have a good time. Everybody's loud music. Everyone else probably drinking or whatever, but having a good time. So I've been but I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
We're doing this,
guys. We're about to attack the island with a bunch of ads all over your guys' phones and such, right? So. All good things though. We're working. We have some big projects going on right now, and we have some bigger things on the horizon. And there's some big things going on. We got some people even in the background in here that you guys don't even see that we're going to be collabing with in the future. We're going to be doing some big stuff. Yeah. Our boy Josh with Salt Light's going to be doing some crazy, awesome stuff here soon. Yeah. So shout out to him. And guys, this is super professional.
And for those who are just watching us for the first time, go watch episodes 1 and 2. But, if you're watching us for the first time, me and Anthony, we own a private equity company, Aloha Acquisitions. And what we're doing is we're buying service-based businesses, right? We're buying them from people who want to retire. And we're also raising private money from private lenders. And we're using that money, giving them a great interest rate, and using that to purchase these private companies. And when we purchase them, we're blowing them up. I mean, that's what we're doing with our first acquisition. Now he's playing himself. Anthony's playing himself in chess. That's how much of a genius he is. But we're looking for service-based businesses. Again, what are some types of service-based businesses for people watching?
As we said, so we're kind of staying along the lines with the private equity companies, the bigger, larger ones. Primary reason for that is we can always sell them off later or let them take them over or partner with them. So there's a lot of different strategies we can utilize with each of these companies. And also, it's smart. The companies that they are targeting, the industries that they're targeting, it's smart. It all makes sense. It's, I wouldn't do anything that doesn't make sense. When you walk over, if you're walking over to the coffee machine over there and you walk all the way around the room and then you go to the coffee machine, that does not make sense. Yeah. I would not mess with that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? If you walk in a straight line to go do something, it's always the most efficient manner. And as long as it makes sense, that's how my brain is wired. That's why, even my place, I live very simple. I always live below your means. Just be simple as possible. It makes life easy. So that's how I applied that same methodology. How do you
sound it out?
Methodology,
yes.
To business, okay. Yes. I apply the same methodology. Yeah. Methodology. Man,
you're doing great, bro.
Holy cow! To business. So that's just how you do it. Okay. It's the most efficient manner, and it's just simple-minded tricks, right? So businesses are going to be around. Shit hits the fan, and like it or not, shit is going to hit the fan
again.
It's going to. Yeah. It's going to. Right? Times are going to get tough, guys. Be happy and excited right now. Enjoy life. That's why I am partying a little bit, because I'm enjoying life, because I know bad times are going to come. Yeah, they are going to come, and they're going to come. And just set your life up to go through those hard times, because they will come. Yeah, set yourself up right.
So speaking of that, tying it into the type of businesses we're buying. So I'm come from like flipping houses, finding deals. And in that world, we're always learning that like you want to go for the house or the home or whatever property that's distress. But for those watching that if you're a real estate investor, I'm telling these guys that we're not buying companies that are distress.
No.
What you want to look for, if you're interested in buying a company, you want to look for a company that it's profitable. And instead of it being distressed, it's owned by someone who wants to retire.
Right. Retire is the key word.
Yeah.
And also has a proven track record. You can look at the track record and you can make assumptions based on numbers that it's profitable and it's likely to succeed under your reign, right? And that is, everyone has a certain level of risk, right? Risk tolerance. Okay, that's another thing. Risk tolerance. I would say I'm on the scale. I'm pretty risk tolerant, but at the same time, it's like I'm gonna win big, but it's also a highly chance that it's gonna succeed, right? So, I'm playing in a sandbox. There's not a lot of people really playing in, and that's why I make fun of. I do make fun. Okay, so. And guys, I make fun of people like real estate agents and such that are getting into business, and they start with all the little car washes and the laundromats and all. And don't get me wrong, I know there's people that scale these things and they're freaking probably billionaires by now or whatnot, and they're doing really well. But I'm talking about it's such a saturated market, and the amount of which you have to buy to become extremely successful in that space is quite high, and the amount of investment it takes is very high. So I'm playing in a sandbox where I don't really have that much competition because it's a little more complex, right? It's like chess, and those are checkers, and now again, I'm not talking shit. You guys do your thing. Trust me. Like, I appreciate you guys, and it's just you guys have saturated that market, and it's like me too, all the little, so and you guys even put little numbers next to it. It's like, it's kind of, what I'm talking about. Come on, man. Like, you're going to get this much, anyway, I'm going to shut up about that, but
what an asshole.
Hey, I plucked up Jeremy from, he was like,
I'm lucky. I'm very lucky. I've met Anthony.
We're about to jump into some awesome
deals.
Things. Big deals, man. Yeah. Great things are going to happen. Great things. And we're not going to, taking it on completely by ourselves it's not a smart move. If also people that are watching, you're like, well, how do I do this? Like, how do I start?
Yeah. Tell us about that.
You don't have to be the one and only. You can partner with someone that already has been down that road. There's a lot of older guys that necessarily don't have the money. Maybe you have the money, or maybe someone else that has the money and you just have the deal, or you can find it. Find a deal, and you can find the person. You can put together. You don't even have to have anything, guys. You just have to be smart and intelligent. You could put together a person that has money and a person that has a deal, and put together also another person that maybe has a little bit smaller equity in the deal that has the know-how. You can put them all together, and you can be the construct of all of this, and you can walk away with probably even the most equity out of the deal without doing anything, putting it all together. And so having that type of mentality can get you to go really, really far, just utilizing all your resources, and people are a resource. You know what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense?
I think it's,
that makes sense to somebody.
Speaking of resources, I think there's three main components. Like, if someone's watching this and you're like, hey, I want to do what you guys are doing. I don't want to start small, like what this guy says with a laundromat or car wash. I think there's three things that you need. You either need the experience, you either need the time, or you either need the money. So you don't have to be all three of these guys. Maybe you're the person with no money, but you have all the time. So what you do is you find the deal, find someone with experience, and find someone with money. And that's how you set that up. Yeah.
And if you start getting lazy like me and you stop wanting to even like underwrite little deals, you partner with a badass like Gemma. Gemma, you're a badass. I hope you ever watch this. You partner with a Gemma. She's a broker out in Cali, and she's like looked at so many large deals. She's been a part of deals. She can basically underwrite a deal and kind of give a value to a business, right? So you bring in somebody like that in your team, and you start to form teams. You start to partner with people, and you start to work with people. That way, the burden is not all on you, and it's a shared burden. And also, you're now more likely to succeed. And whatever task you tackle or system you tackle, system is a business, whatever business you tackle is going to probably be that much more better for you doing that. And the employees are going to be much better. Everybody's going to be much better. And it's probably going to be more likelihood of success if you do that, right? So partnering with people is actually a really good thing.
Yeah. I think there's a saying that goes like, hey, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And I think going back to the ego thing, like when I started flipping houses, I thought I could do it all myself. I wanted to do it all myself. I didn't want to share the equity. I was egotistical and I was greedy. I was like, nah, I want this all for my freaking self, And then because of that led to me making mistakes. I didn't have the experience, lost a big chunk of money, and what Anthony's saying is like, hey, don't be afraid, or you want to partner with people who have experience, who have the money, you can share the risk, share the burden, and, don't be afraid to give up some of the pie, because it's not, I've heard Hermosi said this, it's not the size of the pie, it's the shape. Or no, wait, I said that right. It's not the shape of the pie, it's the size. Like, here's the pie, right?
That's what the girls tell him.
It's not the pie, here's the pie. And then you're going to give up some equity, right?
Used to tell him.
But
But
here's the pie. Like, if you give away equity to someone with experience that can grow it, you increase the size of the pie. I totally screwed that away.
I don't know. What you lost me.
Yeah. But you get what I'm saying, right? Yeah.
Sure.
Well, anyway, let's pivot. So, going back to like the whole grit thing and your employees and like how you like treat people, I wanted to ask you, because people who are watching, if and when you do have kids, how would you instill grit into them?
How would I instill grit?
Yeah, because I'm sure, like you said, well, you want to take care of your family, right?
Yeah, so you want to,
but you don't want them privileged.
And by the way, I don't have any kids, so anybody who wants to comment and talk shit, right? You tell, and I kind of want your guys' ideas. So if you are watching this,
drop some comments.
Drop some comments. I would like to hear your ideas on this. But my idea, right, is, and what I've always thought when I do have kids one day, right, and I will have a kid or two. Mom, don't worry, I'll have a kid. I swear, one day. All right. When I do finally have a child, I'm going to make them earn everything that they have. Okay, and I'm gonna make a game out of it, because that's kind of how I see business as, is like a game. So try to make a game out of it, like let the whole lemonade stand thing. Like, let's see what you can earn, and let's go to the store and let's go buy something with it, or let's go show them how to like invest it in a fun way. Don't just give your children things, and make them earn it. Discipline is real. Like, make sure you discipline your children when they're small too, right? So make sure that when they do something wrong, you discipline them. I'm not saying beat your kids, okay? So don't please look, don't beat your children, but damn, like, you take them in the back and give them a smack. Like, seriously, like I was on the plane the other day and this kid was screaming his lungs off, and the mom and dad are just sitting there nonchalant, giving the kid whatever they want. The kid continues to scream. And I looked and I was like, man, and they're just like nonchalant about it. I'm like, why don't you take that freaking kid to the damn bathroom, give him a spanking, and say, hey, you're not going back. You're not going back until you stop crying. Damn. You want to go back? Act correct. But you can tell that Denver even did that. He should have did that prior his whole life, and he wouldn't have even been acting like that. And the kid's not going to end up in prison later. Yeah. Sorry to them, but that kid's probably going to be a nuisance one day, and problems are going to arise from that. Discipline your children, make them earn. Make them earn. Don't give. And I think that's a big problem in America right now. Is that too many people are given things and they're sheltered and they didn't have to earn it. And they weren't disciplined. Yeah, and now you got all these like people out there making everything political. Everything's political. Don't do this. Don't do that. Man, fucking smack your kids around every once in a while. So but don't beat them. Yeah. But teach them a lesson.
So let's say you have a kid, right? And then he's like already at 18, and then he's like, Dad, I want to work for your company. Do you just give him that position, or do you start him from the bottom up? Like, how do you hypothetically start him off?
If my kid came to me and asked me, I want to work in your company, perfect. Let's start. Let's see how you are at washing cars. Okay. Let's go wash some cars. Show me what you can do. Boom, just like that.
So start him from
the bottom, man. Okay. Scrub the toilets. Yeah. I don't give a shit. Like, he's got to earn.
Let's say he's like, no, Dad, I can do way better than that. I want to start from
Show me Show me that you can do better. Show me. I want to see it.
And what if he has a problem with that?
Then you probably never smacked him around enough when he was young, right? So, you probably didn't instill it, okay? Yeah. So, again, if you have a child that's doing that, then you didn't do your job.
Yeah, because I think that's like what you said earlier. Like nowadays, people are soft. Like they expect so much in so little time without actually putting in the work. Like the shit takes time.
Right.
And when I have kids, I know like same thing. I'm gonna be like, hey, dude, like we're like, hopefully I'm rich by then.
Right.
I'll be like, hey, I'm rich, not you. You got to earn this. And I think when they grow up, hopefully, if I smack them around a little, he'll appreciate that, because I feel like people are just given things. It's you got to earn it, not give it. You know.
Yeah, exactly. You have to earn it.
And if he hates me for not giving it to him, sorry, Junior.
Yeah, sorry. Exactly. I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, it's your family, and like love your family, but and your child is your child, right? But at that point, you want to make sure that their moral compass and everything is good, and that their character is good, and it's your job to nurture and to correct. Okay, that's what discipline should be, is to correct and to guide, right?
They get off the path, you smack them back on the path.
Exactly. Right? Smack it back into them. Exactly. And have them earn it and have fun with them. It could be a fun thing. Let's see how much you can earn.
Yeah.
Let's see how much, like, look, I'll give you a loan to buy a lawnmower, and then you can go around and, and you teach them. I'm going to loan you this money to buy a lawnmower, but you have to pay me back. And then they go mow some lawns, and then they're making money, and then they pay you back monthly or whatever. You make a little plan with them, and then now they're making money, and then now they can, they know what it is to earn, and now you've actually taught them a valuable lesson.
Yeah,
and
they learn a lot of lessons actually.
Yeah,
they learn about loans.
Yes,
they learn how to manage their finances, how to use leverage to start a business.
Yes.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff like that, right? Yeah. So that's how I would, and I will, teach my children in the future, just like that.
Okay.
And they're going to be better than I am, because guess what? Nobody taught me anything. Nobody in my family was in business. Nothing. Nobody. I didn't have a family that had no one in my anywhere knew anything about business or anything like that. So they're going to be a lot further and better than I ever could, because it took me so long I've wasted a lot of time. And that's why I'm always saying to buy a business is much better than starting a business. It's just faster and more efficient, and it's better, and it took me some time to learn that. And now I'm telling you guys the easy answer, right?
So your family, you said none of your family was ever in business, and you're the only one, and you're extremely successful. Have you ever had any like friends, family, like look at what you're doing and they're like, Anthony, you're working too hard. Don't burn yourself out. Like,
oh yeah.
Like, what are your thoughts on that? Because I get it too, and I disagree. Like, I don't think there's burnout. I think if you're feeling burnt out, you're not having fun. And I think if you're not having fun, you're doing it for the wrong reasons, because I work relentless. I got relentless tattooed on my neck, but it's fun. I love it, and sometimes it sucks, but like, it's just the pursuit is fun. And I don't feel burnt out. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean,
think there's balance, or what do you think of balance?
Everybody has their own tolerance level, and they put themselves in your shoes, and they're like, "Wow, I could never do that." And just because someone else can't do it doesn't mean you can't, right? Yeah. So, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. They're probably looking out for you. I'm not saying that they're a bad person or anything like that. What I'm saying is that you know yourself. You should be very self-aware, and you know when it's time to chill and when it's time not to. Like right now, in chill mode a little bit. I'm working. Everybody's working. Everybody's
got the hoodie up.
I got my hoodie up. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. But people are not built the same, unfortunately. And I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but not everyone's built the same.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. It's
some people don't got that dog in them.
No, exactly. It's just not. It's not it. Okay.
Cool.
So yeah. It's just that's basically what it is.
Cool.
I mean, not everyone's built the same, bro.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. This life is not meant for everyone. But anyway, we're coming up on the hour mark. We talked about grit. We talked about showing up when you don't want to, battling laziness. All that stuff. Fakes.
Fakes.
Is there anything else that you wanted to touch on?
You know, I just definitely want to touch on the fake thing, man. I just, bro, like, I just, it's so annoying. Mm-hmm. That was basically, like, my biggest thing is I keep meeting more and more people faking. And it's not, look, everyone, we all have character flaws, and we can work on them. And if you are that person, you just don't, just learn how to not be that person.
You don't got to lie to kick it.
You don't got to lie to kick it. I like that. Jeremy's very good at just summing up what I said into like 4 words. And I love it. I love it. That's why we balance each other out. And also, I just want to remind everyone, like right now, Jeremy and I, we just did this is our 3rd episode. We're going to be having guests coming on, so just stick with us. I know maybe I'm a little boring, and Jeremy's definitely boring, more boring than I am. But I promise you, we're about to spice some stuff up. Oh, yeah. We're about to get it spicy, guys. You have no idea. We're about to blow up. And you want to know why? Because I have that mentality. I have a don't quit attitude. Mm-hmm. And, right now we're having fun with it. And it's about to, but I'm telling you, like, business is about to pop off.
We're just getting started.
We're just getting started. We're just having fun with it, ladies and gentlemen. You guys don't even understand what's coming.
You don't understand.
You don't understand.
That's Anthony's favorite motto right there.
I love it. You don't understand because you don't. You don't understand. That's going to be on the next one. You don't understand for sure. But
cool.
Anyway, let's wrap this baby up.
Hey, thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, awesome. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, if you want to see all the juicy stuff on me and Anthony's Instagram, follow us there. I'll put a link to that in the description below. But thank you guys again for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.